and this will give any Germans watching this the opportunity to crap all over American paper houses. Hey guys, what's up? It's Kelly again, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about US movie and TV tropes that don't exactly translate well in Germany. So what's a trope? A trope is a common plot device or something that you see characters frequently do. For example, a character gets fired from his job and carries out a cardboard box containing his desk things. Or there's a bomb that's about to detonate, and at the last second, the hero defuses the bomb.
Oh my god, MacGyver, the bomb is about to explode.
Huh? Oh, sorry, I got this.
Thank you, MacGyver. I can't believe you just saved the day.
Yeah, I'm just doing my thing.
So a lot of big movies and TV shows are produced in Hollywood and are catered toward an American audience. And while many tropes are universally understood, there are some that are very specific to the US and don't exactly resonate well with an international audience. So after the longest intro ever, I'm finally going to talk to you guys about some TV and movie tropes that don't play well with a German audience. The first trope is death or injury by a garbage disposal. This is when a character gets a body part or something caught into a running garbage disposal and suffers some gruesome consequences. In the US, a lot of kitchen sinks have garbage disposals installed, and it allows you to quickly shred whatever food scraps are in your sink drain into small enough pieces to be able to pass safely through the plumbing. There's a horror movie called Wish Upon that came out a few years ago and has a very tense scene where the character Mrs. DeLuca, played by Sherilyn Fenn, is trying to use the garbage disposal, but it gets clogged with some pieces of food, and this sometimes happens. So she's reaching into the garbage disposal to try to clear it, and you notice that the garbage disposal switch is in a ridiculous location. Watching the scene gave me so much anxiety because you obviously think she's going to turn on the garbage disposal while her hand is inside the sink drain, but instead her very long hair gets caught in it and she's unable to turn it off to save herself. Scenes like this are terrifying for anyone to watch, whether or not you have a garbage disposal, because why? Why would you put your hand into basically a meat grinder? And for Germans who don't have garbage disposals anywhere in their country, I imagine that this would make them think that garbage disposals are just basically giant death traps. Every time they think of garbage disposals, they think of somebody losing a body part, or rat infestations, but that's something entirely different. The next trope I'm going to talk about is the toilet bowl swirly. This is when a bully or some type of abuser will hold someone's head down into the toilet bowl, oftentimes flushing it in order to make more water swirl around the victim's head. In one of my absolute favorite movies, The Big Lebowski, there's this scene where the main character, the dude, is attacked by a guy who repeatedly thrusts the dude's head into the toilet as a threat to drown him. He's doing this in an attempt to solicit information from the dude. The whole tactic in this scene is centered around the fact that the toilet bowl has a depth of water sitting in it. Enough water, obviously, to be able to completely submerge the dude's head, as you can see here. This scene doesn't translate well in Germany because the toilets there barely have enough water sitting in the bowl. So the dude's head wouldn't have been submerged in the water if it were a German toilet in that scene instead of a US toilet. Now, when you flush a German toilet, there is a fair amount of water involved. So perhaps the idea of flushing the toilet while the victim's head is down inside the bowl works a little bit better in Germany. But I guess in German high schools, nobody's really worried about getting a toilet bowl swirly. And you know what else the nerdy kids in German high schools probably aren't worried about happening? Getting stuffed into a locker. This is another trope that you see in a lot of US movies and TV shows. Family Matters is a show that I grew up watching all the time, and Urkel is a character who is the classic stereotypical nerdy high school student. In one episode, well, in several episodes, there is this scene where Urkel is antagonizing a few other high school students, and eventually they get fed up and shove him into his locker. By the way, this is something that I never actually saw happen in high school, but it happens all the time in US movies and TV shows. This trope doesn't translate well in Germany though, because because German high schools aren't equipped with lockers. Instead, German students pack their backpacks with everything that they need for the entire day, even their gym clothes, and they carry that around class to class. So now I'm starting to wonder what happens to nerds in German high schools. The next trope is punching a hole in the wall, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's when a character literally punches a hole in the wall. And this will give any Germans watching this the opportunity to crap all over American paper houses. So this happens in the sort of bizarre movie Ted, which features a teddy bear that comes to life and accompanies the lead character John, played by Mark Wahlberg, through childhood and into his adult life. So in this scene, Ted and John convince a character named Sam to punch a hole through the wall, and he does. The hole opens up into another apartment with a person who isn't exactly happy by the new remodeling job Sam just did. Sam was able to punch through that wall because, well, for one, because Sam's a little crazy, but also because US walls are constructed of wooden frames bearing sheetrock or drywall that's very thin and easy to punch through. This trope wouldn't work in Germany because German walls are made of concrete, even interior walls. So no matter how many protein bars you nibble on, if you go to punch a German wall, you're going to end up with a broken hand and arm and probably your shoulder and half of your face, because that's how strong German walls are. It's been funny for me to see Misha, my German boyfriend, tiptoe around our apartment here in DC, thinking that just his mere touch might put a hole in one of our walls. That's how powerful Hollywood is to put this fear into his head. For the next trope, I'm going to circle back to The Big Lebowski because there's this entire scene where they introduce the character Jesus, who is on the rival bowling team of the main characters. He's quite an eccentric guy and is also a sex offender. In this scene, Walter explains that when Jesus moved to Hollywood, he had to go door to door to notify everyone in the neighborhood that he is a sex offender. This plot point is in reference to a law we have here in the US called Megan's Law, which basically requires law enforcement authorities to inform the public anytime a sex offender moves into the local area. This law doesn't exist in Germany, probably for a couple of reasons, but one of those reasons is because Germans just have a very different mindset about criminals. A lot of Germans think that once a criminal pays the fine or the sentence as prescribed by a judge, the crime shouldn't continue to follow them throughout life. So to see someone be legally required to go door to door and confess a crime that they committed in the past to complete strangers would probably be a bit strange for a German audience, and I'm not sure that this movie trope really translates well in Germany. The last trope I'm going to talk about is called brown bagging, which is when a character drinks alcohol concealed by a brown paper bag. The TV show Archer is one of my favorite TV shows, and in one of the episodes of the second season, there's this scene showing the characters Pam and Cheryl walking down the street, and Pam is holding an opened beer inside of a paper bag. She's doing this because in the US we have very strict open container laws, and with a few exceptions in cities like New Orleans, you are not allowed to drink in public in the US. And so by putting the alcoholic beverage into a brown paper bag, you're able to circumvent these laws. Now, I have no idea if this would actually work. Hollywood gives me the impression that it does because of how many times it's in movies and TV shows. But in Germany, this clever little trick wouldn't even be necessary because you're able to drink in public there, rendering this trope a little confusing for Germans. I have so many more movie and TV tropes that I can share with you guys if you enjoyed this video, and the best way to let me know that you want to see more of this type of content is by giving me a big thumbs up and writing a comment to let me know. As always, thank you so much to my patrons. You guys are awesome for the support you've given me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Hey guys, make sure you're following me on Instagram so that you can enjoy some more of my sweet, sweet content through the Instagram stories I regularly post.